All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the final part of the show, we are now going to talk about the Chargers opening up about the Keenan Allen trade, why it had to happen. So let's get right into that. So the general manager of the Chargers spoke on this. Basically, he said how he didn't love parting with Keenan Allen, but it's because of course, the Chargers cap situation that it had to happen. Um, General Manager Joe Hortiz, I think that's how you pronounce it. I apologize again if I mispronounce his name. But so he spoke on this. This is an article on NFL.com. So this is what he said. He said, "Yeah, I knew who I was trading. He's a very talented player, and I respect him as a player, as a person. It's difficult when you have to cut a player, trade a player, release a player. It's always difficult for a player like him, certainly, but it creates an opportunity for other players to step up. Again, we're not done building that room out, so we're going to look to continue to add pieces to the room." He said that the club approached Allen and his representatives with multiple different options, including an extension, but noted just none of them worked out. I think when you're talking about trading Keenan specifically, yeah, that's not a decision you make with no acknowledgement of. This is a talented player that can still compete. Yeah, I mean, it was a tough decision. I mean, the Chargers, their cap situation was not good, and they had to make tough decisions. They released Mike Williams, they traded Keenan Allen. I mean, fortunately, they were able to restructure the contracts of Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, so at least you have those guys on the defensive side of the ball. But offensively, I mean, look at the turnover. Mike Williams is gone, Keenan Allen's gone, Austin Eckler is gone. I mean, he was a free agent. He left and signed with the Commanders. Gerald Everett signed with the Bears. So, yeah, I mean, it was tough for them. And, again, you got Justin Herbert still there, of course. And, we'll see how he is with who else they decide to bring in. Because right now, again, I mean, I've talked about this a lot. I mean, they have Gus Edwards now as the lead back at the moment. You have Joshua Palmer and you have Quinn Johnston. That's your well, they also did bring in Will Dissly. I forgot to mention that, another tight end from the Seahawks. So yeah, I mean that's right now that's the Chargers offense. So we'll see what they end up doing in the draft. I mean, you figure they're going to draft a receiver, but yeah, it was a tough decision. And I don't know. I feel like at least for me, I thought they were going to be able to keep Keenan Allen. But I guess because they wanted him to take a pay cut. And again, he wasn't budging because he was coming off of a very good season. Probably his best season as a pro, or one of his best seasons as a pro. And he even said it. He wasn't going to take a discount, especially coming off of the year that he had. So he finished the year 6th in receptions. He had 108 receptions. He had 1,243 receiving yards, which was 11th, and then he was tied for 18th with 7 touchdowns. He also threw a touchdown as well. But yeah, he had a great season. I mean, let's compare it to his other seasons. 2017, he had almost 1,400 yards receiving and 6 touchdowns, and he had 102 receptions that season. A couple others. Yeah, I mean, he's had 1,000 yards. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, in 6 seasons. 2016, I know he got hurt in the very first game of the season, so yeah, he only had 6 receptions for 63 yards. That was his stat line for that season. But yeah, the one thing, when you look at Keenan Allen's stats, it's consistency. Now, he's dealt with some injuries, which again, who hasn't? From 2017 to 2019, he played in all 16 games. Played in 14 in 2020, 16 in 2021, 10 in 2022, and then 13 in 2023. But when he plays, he puts up good numbers. And he's still a solid wide receiver. He's 31. And I think he's going to do well with the Bears. And he's going to be opposite of DJ Moore. So, I mean, I like that duo for the Bears a lot. But yeah, I mean, he even said it, like he was not taking a discount. So that forced the Chargers' hand, and they had to, unfortunately, trade him. And now they're going to be looking to kind of rebuild this receiving core, which I think with Harbaugh, I think they're going to get this right, and they're going to be a team that's going to make the playoffs. I don't know about in 2024, but I think the future is bright for them. But again, the Chargers are another franchise that it's hard to be optimistic, and maybe I'm just too optimistic. I'm optimistic about them. I'm optimistic about the Jets. I'm optimistic about the Bears. Because again, you just look at the moves that they've made, and you think, yeah, they should be. I mean, I'm not looking at them and saying, yeah, they're going to go to the Super Bowl. They're going to knock off the Chiefs. No. But I'm saying that there should be improvement. There should be improvement. I mean, the Chargers is a little bit different because they're trying to rebuild. The Jets are looking at. I mean, again, I think the Chargers are looking to compete, but also like, let's be realistic. Right now, I don't look at them as, I mean, borderline playoff team maybe, with Justin Herbert, but nothing more than that. I mean, again, the Chiefs got the division. I mean, the Chiefs are always going to be my pick right now to win the division. So really, you're looking at the wild card. But again, like you look at the NFC with the Bears. The conference is not as loaded, so we'll see. And again, they still got to figure it out with a quarterback. We'll see again what I talked about, how Caleb Williams could be with them. And then the Jets, yeah, I mean they got Super Bowl aspirations. They have Super Bowl aspirations. Again, I don't look at them as the team to go to the Super Bowl, but I'm being optimistic about them. I think they will be better next season. But for the Chargers, yeah, it's again, it's because they got to fix that cap situation, and they've done that. And now let's see what they do. Let's see what they do in the draft. But yeah, it's a tough decision, especially because with Keenan Allen, just because again he's been there for so long, been there for over 10 years, around 10 years, and yeah, it's tough to move off a player like that. But they had no choice. They weren't able to come to an agreement on a new contract, and he ultimately ended up getting traded, which I was surprised because I was like, yeah, I mean Mike Williams, I wasn't surprised by that. I thought maybe, Khalil Mack, you could have saw him getting moved, but that ended up not happening. Like I said, they kept him and Joey Bosa. Austin Eckler left. I thought, you know what, maybe they're going to find a way to keep Keenan Allen because you got to keep somebody. But no, they traded him. So, like I said, depth chart right now, it's Quentin Johnston, Joshua Palmer, and I think Darius Davis. So, you got to add to that. Now, again, there's some receivers out there that they could go out and get. But I mean, they're probably focused on the draft. So, yeah, we'll see. But again, it's the reason, of course, is the cap situation that they had to make the move. But you could at least from what the general manager is saying, yeah, it was a tough decision, and but it's just something that had to be made. So. Again, the Chargers are going to look, I mean, I've said this a lot. The Chargers are going to look different in 2024. There's no question about that. And it's a new era with Jim Harbaugh. So, again, the draft's coming up in a month. Let's see what they do. And maybe there's more moves to be made. Who knows? But, yeah. But let me know what you guys think about the whole Keenan Allen situation. Again, the logical answer is yeah. The Chargers should have kept him, but just let me know what you guys think about the whole situation. I mean, should Keenan Allen have, maybe taken one of the deals that they were trying to give him? I mean, again, if it's a significant pay cut, then yeah. I mean, and you're coming off of a great year, yeah, probably not. But if you guys have any thoughts on that, let me know. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much, that topic. And, yeah, another week in the books. I hope everybody enjoyed the first day of March Madness yesterday. Was able to, at least, catch some of the games any of you guys are part of that low percentage that still has a perfect bracket, good for you, which probably not. I know Bijan Robinson, he had I think he still has a perfect bracket. But yeah, mine was busted after the first game. Not surprised. Um, but still got my Final Four teams. Still got my national champion. Uh, Again, UConn I picked, but we'll see what happens today. Um, but yeah, looking forward to just watch those games all weekend. And yeah, and again, hopefully something happens in the NFL. Another, a trade maybe goes down again because Justin Fields and Aaron Donald, all that happened after I was done recording. So maybe something else will happen. So, um, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, again, I think the craziness might be over until the draft, but you never know. You never know. So yeah, a lot of things are coming up, though. Of course, I mean, yeah, the draft at some point, but right now you got March Madness. Baseball is going to be starting next week. I mean, it already started with the Dodgers and Padres, and Shohei Ohtani was in the news about something. So make sure to tune in to the GSMC Baseball Podcast to learn more about what happened with Shohei Ohtani, because I believe that will be covered, because it's a big story. So, but yeah, that's a headline. But baseball is going to be starting again. You got the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs; those are coming up soon. So yeah, I mean, this is a great time to be a sports fan. So yeah, looking forward to baseball season. Because I mean, I try to watch every Yankee game as much as I can. I try not to miss them. So you might call me a little bit of a psycho, but yeah, I that's where my fandom lies. So, with the NFL, you only got 17 games in there once a week. Baseball's every day, and it's 162 games, and the NBA and the NHL are half that. So, but yeah, looking forward to all that. March Madness, like I said, is in full swing. So yeah, got to be excited. So make sure to tune into all the other shows on the network to get all their perspectives on the other sports, because obviously, I'm in off-season mode, so that's all. That's what I'm talking about right now. But yeah, and let's just hope that we get warm weather consistently, because at least on the East Coast here, now it's back to being cold. So let's, it was in the 60s at one point. Now all of a sudden it's, back down to 30s and 40s. I mean, what's going on? But that's the weather for you. So, but anyways, again, leave a comment, a like on the video. Let me know what you guys think about all the topics that we discussed today. Again, I did talk about the Jets a decent amount this week, just because, again, signing Tyron Smith, Mike Williams, and now all those guys coming out and saying that the Jets have, Jets could have a good season. They were optimistic. Yeah, and then obviously talked about them and other teams looking to improve in 2024. And obviously Caleb Williams, and should he say no to the Bears? Well, I said he should get drafted to the Bears. And the quote that I read in the second segment, basically says all you need to know, that yeah, that he would be open to it. And then of course Keenan Allen as well. The Chargers, it was a tough decision for them, but it was a decision that they had to make. So with that being said, that is all the time that we have for today. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back again on Monday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And until then, I'm your host, Kenneth Grunfelder, signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Enjoy all the March Madness games. And I will talk to you guys on Monday. Take care.